It gets all on you, all on. Hey yo, hey yo, what's going on, people? Mac, we're live at 5. It's your boy Mac checking in. You already know what the going on with me. I had some little technical difficulties, but I still managed to swing it. You know what I'm saying? Swing it. Oop, swing it. Um, but yeah, y'all. We in this thing. Shout out to all the new subscribers. And if you ain't subscribed to the channel, go ahead, do your due diligence. Look out for your boy Mac. And get on deck with Mac World. You already know what it is. We got a good one today, man. We got some interesting crap today for y'all, man. I was looking at a couple little things. It was like, so I'm looking at some rappers I ain't never even heard of before. They talking about these rappers is, man, suburban kids doing drill rap. Like, it's gonna be like, man, it's gonna get to a point where it's like, man, just I forgot what show that was. I want to say it was Atlanta, where dude was like, man, just let me listen to my blue-eyed trap in peace. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we getting right now. It's crazy. I'm gonna show y'all exactly what I'm talking about because it's crazy. It's actually two different stories, two different clips I want to show y'all. Each of them is interesting. Maybe I'll try and show y'all both of them. But then, speaking of rappers, you know, there's accusing the rapper that used to be in the Fugees, the dude named Pras. Well, they was accusing Dog of being a Chinese spy and shit. But the story is deeper than that, and it's crazy, bro. It's like, dude, actually what he did was negotiated for a hostage to get free. You know what I mean? Um, the winning team in the building. What's going on, Ricky Williams, my brother? So I didn't even bother looking at it because it be so much weird shit going on with celebrities that I was just like, man, I ain't got time for this Chinese spy bullshit. But I actually came across a story and a pretty good clip breaking it down, and it was way more interesting. Dude wasn't no fucking spy. It was like he got, like, the dude is the dude Proswell from the Fugees. It was like he got pulled into some shit, and basically, like, in another country, they look at celebrities like important figures, like American celebrities. Like, look how Dennis Rodman met with Kim Jong Un or whatever, Kim Jong Il, whatever his name is. But so he ended up getting like pulled into some shit that was way the fuck over his head. Like, the FBI came to him and he told them what was going on, and they basically had to explain to him, like, man, the person you was talking to was the president, or the, you know, like the president of China or whatever. It's some interesting shit. We gonna run that down. And then, man, this adult, I guess she want to call herself an adult actress. I ain't never seen her in shit, and I watch a lot of naked movies. No, I'm just talking shit. But she say she a adult actress or something like that, and she end up getting a ding dong special delivery. You know what I'm saying? And it's just crazy, man. She couldn't get rid of the special delivery. She couldn't get rid of that special delivery, that G Dep special delivery. And she was trying to say she got took advantage of. It's interesting. It's interesting clip. We gonna look at it. You know what I mean? Just kind of running it down. You know. So as we get into the clip, I got some new beats too. I'm finna throw one of my new beats on. And you know, we gonna do these analytics, man. We gonna get everything going. I'm gonna get it smoking right away too today, because for the simple fact that my clips is kind of long. So We gonna dive right into it, man. Shout out to everybody. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Everybody new to the channel. I get a lot of people, I get a lot of like randoms and shit like that, man. Welcome to Mac World. Show your boy some love, man. You know the channel, you gotta show the support before the channel blow. Don't jump on the bandwagon. You know what I'm saying? After I'm Black Joe Rogan. You know what I'm saying? So let's get this thing smoking, man. Winning team in the building, you know what I'm saying? I don't know where Annette at. Annette! She usually be the first one in here, but it's all love though. But yeah, so we gonna get this thing going then. We're gonna dive right in. You already know what it is. Mac World Live Daily, baby, at 5. Let's go. In the building. What up, cuz? You know what it is, cause I got the headphones on my head. So I'ma kill the freestyle, did what I said. Fuck 12, I ain't going fed. Chick hit me trippin', I'ma leave her on red. Hit me like a pigeon, I'ma ask you about some bread. Hey, that's the way it is. I'm from Milwaukee, bout the Bucks, man, you know the biz. And that other nigga game, and I'm over his. Cause I'm the last boss. And I'm the streets, look both ways before you cross me. I'm a east side OG. Fuck with me, man, you gotta pay the fee. Cause you know ain't really nothing going for free. That's the way it gotta be. Mac World Live Daily at 5. We never slippin', yep, you know the way it go. Know what I'm gripping, I'm holding on like it was my last damn dime. Every time I spit like my last damn rhyme, and I spit slick, so you could say it's like slime, and I did shit that you could say was a crime. But if I never got caught, did I do good? Do you hear a tree if nobody hear it falling in the woods? I be philosophizing in the hood, man. Philosophizing. You know what I'm saying? Hey, hey. You already know what it is. Mac World Live at 5, baby. Let's go. And yeah, today, man, we got some crazy ones for y'all. So y'all see I'm sitting up spitting this freestyle. Yeah, my freestyle was definitely shaky because I was spitting off the top of the head. But what would you rather have? Would you rather have a real freestyle, you know what I'm saying? Or would you rather have somebody that's an industry plant? Do y'all know what an industry plant is? An industry plant is somebody that they try to take and they make them look like they came out. What's up in that? An industry plant is somebody they take and they make the person seem like they came out authentically and organically, like they was just somebody that got discovered. But really it's somebody, usually somebody they take without no talent at all, no ambitions to rap or marginal talent. And they take them and they they give them an image and they do all this other stuff to them as to make them look like they are, you know, the real deal. And I mean, you know, that might seem like it's nothing really major like that, but at the same time, you got to think, what would be the purpose behind it? Why would they want to put plants in something and put money behind something to keep it going. So I want to point this out to y'all before I show y'all this clip. Notice when they do industry plants, you don't never have an industry plant Kendrick Lamar. You won't get an industry plant Dead Pras, an industry plant Nas. When they do an industry plant, when they create an artist that they want people to follow and give them some fake fame and all that, they always do it with these certain type of artists, and it lets you know the agenda they pushing. Let's go.
Plants are artists that are planted in the music industry. Industry plants are artists that are planted in the music industry by labels or other important people. Sometimes they can be hard to spot, and sometimes they are painfully obvious and generic, which can deter people from wanting to listen. And those are the people that we're going to be checking out today. So today I have gathered 4 artists that were planted in the music industry but failed to grow. But first, let's quickly define what an industry plant is. So the term industry plant is thrown around all the time with tons of people giving it different definitions. For example, when you Google industry plant, the definition is artists who have only just started in the industry and are then picked up by a major label and groomed to be a star. But the issue with this definition and many similar ones is that it can be applied to a lot of artists. The whole point of a label picking up an artist in the first place is to help them blow up. A better definition is an artist who is a major/indie label backing their movement but presents themselves as a homegrown startup to create the illusion of an organic following. But the issue with this definition too is that whether or not you're an industry plant, a lot of artists aren't very talkative about their label, and a lot of artists like to run with the did it on my own narrative. So that doesn't really help narrow down the list. However, for the sake of this video, I'm going to define industry plants as artists who sign early in their careers and have their image created mostly by the label as some sort of marketing gimmick. What I mean by this is that these artists have their personality, their
artists that's created by the label, like he said, don't got no, and they just a gimmick. They just made as a reflection of whatever is popular right now. You know what I'm saying?
Music and their stuff.
And they come out of nowhere and just go straight to the fucking top. Like some shit like Ice Spice or something like that, right?
Style tailored to a certain audience, which typically comes off as very inauthentic. You'll see what I mean as we go throughout the rest of the video. So let's start off with one of the most notorious industry plants that there is, Jumex. So
nah, listen, Ricky. Hey, no, I be these niggas, bro, who look like this. I ain't talking about, like, see, Migos, they was around for a second before they blew up. They was, like, they first videos was low budget and shit. Then they did that Versace and Drake hopped on the remix. Now, the Drake stimulus is a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? But the Migos, they was around. They had Bando and shit like that. Okay, Lil Uzi Vert, yeah, I could kind of see. I'm like kind of halfway on him being an industry plant because I seen some, you know, Lil Uzi Vert from Philly, and I seen some shit with him rapping before he was whacked out, and dude was a regular rapper, like rapping lyrical shit. It was fucking crazy. I'm like, that's Uzi Vert. He had a regular short haircut, like looked at like a little mini Meek Mill or some shit like that. Then he went all rock and roll and shit after he hooked up with OG Mako and them and all them dudes and shit. You know what I mean? But and then Megan Thee Stallion, according, now this is just what my daughter told me. She been around for a while before she blew up. But it's these niggas like this that ain't talking about, and these motherfuckers be straight made up creations and shit. To me, the industry plant giveaway be the pointless face tattoo right under your eye, like Lil Peep, Lil Skies, you know what I'm saying, Lil Xan. They always get some pointless ass tattoo. Let me see if I can zoom in. Let me see if Zoom it gonna show me love. Nope, Zoom it ain't showing me no love, man. Jesus Christ, Zoom it. Why you doing me like that? All right, so y'all know what we gotta do. We gotta bust Zoom it down like a prostitute. Let's go. Where you at, Zoom it? Pull thinking about making you pull over. Okay, we got it. Now check this out. This is the industry plant giveaway to me, if you ask me, right here. All the industry plants got this. They got not this particular tattoo, but they got some pointless shit on their face. You know what I'm saying? And Yeah. So let's see what he talk. I didn't even know who some of these people was.
So Jumex is one of the first artists that people tend to think of when it comes to industry plants. He's an artist who started blowing up in 2019 after the release of his song Loner. However, it was pretty apparent right off the bat after the release of his first song Trapped that he was an industry plant. The song was a cookie cutter yell rap song where he's yelling the hook and then he raps a verse while forcing his voice to sound like this. The chorus was these lyrics repeated over and over again. I'm trapped and I can't get out, so might as well get high. I'm trapped and I can't get out, so might as well just die. And I don't mind mediocre lyrics and stuff being repeated. Like Lil Pump is a good example, but at least Lil Pump had some sort of character and some charisma that made the song fun. Jumex's song was just, hey, X is popular, let me try to copy that. But the reason it was apparent that he was an industry plant because of this song is because it was his first song and it had a music video directed by ex-Odd Future member Taco, who's pretty up there in the music industry. And he was already signed when this song was released. So then it begs the question, how did Jumex get planted? Well, Jumex was your average high school SoundCloud rapper who was fascinated by music from artists like Lil Peep, X, and others. He was releasing some music before he was planted, but it was even worse than his newer stuff.
You were never there, hearts broken to despair. I saw you in the summer, just a girl with long hair.
It just sounded like some Lil Peep inspired music with poor production. And that's how all his music was at the time. And on top of that, he was trying to look the part.
We work so hard in the hood, man, to try to get ourselves heard and shit, man. And all you gotta do is sometimes, man, no offense to, you know, white people out here trying and shit and all that, but it is what it is in America. Sometimes all you gotta do is just try and be white and it work. You could be a riffraff. You could be a joke kind of rapper, Andy Milonakis. Like, even though Andy Milonakis had a couple little bars on him and shit, but shit crazy though, man. Dude said just a growing long hair. Hey, I was listening to some chick today that my guy put me up on named Scarlet. That hell cold. She could rap. She sound like Auntie Murder. That's who she sound like. But I don't think she no industry plant though, but let's go.
Of a SoundCloud rapper as well. However, he went somewhat viral after posting a video online where he was smoking in his class and yelling World Star. This video caught the attention of Bradley Scoffern. Bradley Scoffern is a guy who's worked a lot with Odd Future. He used to help manage Tyler the Creator and worked with Golfwang. He had been working with them as early on as 2012 and also worked as a carnival director at Camp Flognaw. So people theorized that Bradley found Jumex from this video, heard his music, decided to invest in him, hooked him up with some industry connections, and therefore planted him in the music industry. People have also said that the label he was with, Corton Records, was created by Bradley, made to look like some indie label, even though there was tons of money behind it. Like I said, this isn't a confirmed fact, it's just speculation, but it would make a lot of sense as to how Jumex got all these industry connections.
Like 10K
People also theorized that Bradley had Taco direct his
and they
first
all
music
end up
video and
dead
song,
too.
and Taco even played it during his DJ set at Camp Flognaw in 2018. His following song, Loner, was released shortly after Trapped, and he had writing assistance from I Love McConan, who actually helped him on a bunch of other songs, which is kind of sad when the songwriting is so terrible. There's also screenshots of Jumex asking people to write him a song about flexing but emotionally. He got a Genius interview for this song and people clowned on it, with top comments like, Jumex looks like a Monster Energy can personified. Jumex also did this thing where he would just glamorize being sad because it was trendy.
Right. Look at this. So let's talk about agendas, right? So look at this industry plant kid right here. And look what his flex is. He's like a rock kid, but he's sad and all that. Skinny, like that skinny drug addict, rock kid. Look, I'm sad. Look how sad I could be. How we letting these folks take rap music and suck the life and the soul out of it? Music is supposed to be to help you get by. It's supposed to be inspirational. They taking that shit because they ain't even really approaching it with their real authentic self, and they just using hip hop beats and, you know what I'm saying, they mark they dollars they got from their parents and marketing money and making some bullshit. And we just gotta sit by and watch. It's fucked up.
Really trying to appeal to the emo type of community. So with a little bit of digging, it looks pretty obvious that he was planted in the music industry. And after releasing some EPs and singles throughout 2019 and 2021, collaborating with people like Lil Xan and Travis Barker, it seems like he parted ways with Corton Records. His numbers started slowing down and Corton probably realized that their investments had failed, so it's likely that they pulled out, or maybe Jumex left them, I'm not sure. So as of now, he's been releasing his latest songs independently with little to no success. I honestly think that
Oh, and it's just like, I hope y'all see him with a rock guitar, right? That's what they all do after they try to use rap for a little second. Like Lil Pump, he a rock star now. Post Malone, you see, he went back to making like, he went from White Iverson, ever since I'm ballin' I was young, to run away. Like, they all use rap, then they get the fuck out of there after they got enough, after they feel like they got enough of our money to say, oh yeah, I did the black thing and know what it's like, and now I'm moving on from it. Like, we got to stop this, y'all. Let's go.
That the reason he failed is because his first impression was so terrible. The music wasn't great right off the bat, and the industry plant thing was so apparent. In my opinion, his music did get a lot better over time, but because people had these preconceived notions about him, they didn't really want to check his newer stuff out. And that brings us to our next notorious industry plant, Baby Goth. So Baby Goth is an artist that just appeared one day. She popped onto the scene when she was featured on Trippie Redd. So Baby Goth is,
and I heard about this. I heard about this next chick like recently, Baby Goth or whatever her name is, and like she was on the song with like Trippie Redd. That's what I'm saying. They just come out of nowhere, and they always stick them with these black rappers too. These industry plants, but it be like niggas like Trippie Redd though that already be trying to be some hybrid like rock. Like, you know what I'm saying? And they just stick these weirdos with them and shit, these industry plant weirdos. But Trippie Redd on one of them labels, though, like Tekashi, like one of them labels that try to make it seem like they organic, but really got a lot of money behind them. Like an industry plant farm. Let's go.
That brings us to our next notorious industry plant, Baby Goth. So Baby Goth is an artist that just appeared one day. She popped onto the scene when she was featured on Trippie Redd's album A Love Letter to You 3 on November 9th of 2018. Shortly after that, she released her first song, Swimming, with Trippie Redd and Lil Xan. So right off the bat, she looked like an industry plant. I mean, her first song wasn't even out and she was already on Trippie Redd's album, but there's a bit more to the story. Before she became Baby Goth, she was always really into music. She started making music under the name Bria Bueno and had been doing covers and releasing her own music. She was even with an indie label called Rewind Records. In 2016, she posted an Indiegogo campaign with the attempt to raise money so she could make an EP. Unfortunately, though, she only raised $320 out of her $14,000 goal. Eventually, she was able to release her EP called Babyface, which was more like a pop-sounding project that was actually pretty decent. She had a pretty good voice, and I think she could have had more potential with that had she not rebranded. Baby Goth was doing a ton of things to try to get noticed, and she claims that she was eventually noticed by some people in the industry who found her on their Explore page on Instagram. She then signed to Republic Records, which is a branch of UMG, which is one of the big three record labels in the music industry. And when she got signed, she underwent a huge rebrand, covering up her previous career and creating a new image, which is a theme we see among many other industry plants. Her new image was face tattoos, flexing money, and posing.
Y'all see do y'all see it? Didn't I tell y'all? Hold on. I'm gonna try to catch it.
Rebrand, covering up her previous career and creating a new image, which is a theme we see among many other industry plants. Her new image was face tattoos, flexing money.
Up there it is, right there. I told y'all, every industry plant, what do they get? They get this fucking pointless, like where in prison it would be where your teardrop is, but it'd be like something stupid right there, like, ah man, hey. Where's the industry plants? Like, listen, let me tell you what's so fucked up about this shit. Let me tell you something real fast, right? I'm finna tell y'all some shit, right? So imagine if it was an industry plant, if they was doing conscious rap, battle rap, anything, and it was an industry plant. Any other type of rap other than this type of like fluff, flex, what I call this bubblegum trap, that like people who don't even really know nothing about really selling no dope or no shit like that just rap about like the flex side of it and talk about like some ska-da-da-da-da-da, scoo-da-da. That's bubblegum trap. That's what I call it. So like this bubblegum trap, you know what I'm saying? It wouldn't even be able to exist. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's so the sad part about it is it's no expectations of these bubblegum trappers. They not expected to keep it real. They just here strictly to take from the culture and then just get the fuck out of here. And it's never gonna be an industry plant for no type of meaningful music. You ain't gonna catch a jazz industry plant. You ain't gonna catch a, you know what I'm saying? But you'll catch an industry plant for some skidda-da-da-da-da. They tried to make a digital rapper who was like a shoot 'em up, bang, bang. Like he's like a digital thug rapper. Like them the only times. So when they put time and money into an agenda and create a person to push a agenda or a style of rap, that should let you know it's detrimental. They ain't making the industry plant Kendrick Lamar ever. but they gonna make an industry plant like Gucci Mane and like shit like that. Remember Riff Raff, the white boy with the stitched tattoos on his face or whatever? Man, come on, man.
And posing with guns. Her and her label were also seemingly
This whole
hiding the
posing
fact
with
that she had
guns
a
probably ain't
husband
never
and
shot
flexing
nothing in her life.
image, which is a theme we see among many other industry plants. Her new image was face tattoos, flexing money, and posing with guns. Her and her label were also seemingly hiding the fact that she had a husband and 2 kids, so clearly her label was trying to make her appeal to a certain audience, which like I said earlier is a marketing gimmick. Baby Goth then began blowing up after her first few songs. However though, shortly after she started releasing music, she was exposed by a YouTuber named Pras who basically proved she was an industry plant. He even found a video of one of her managers saying himself that he made her entire image and brand. He said that she was like a potato with no personality, so he gave her one.
She has no personality. So I was like, since a person can't speak, you gotta make them look cool, right? So we get a cool name, right? All we had to do, get face tats, because all these artists got face tats, right? So you build a aesthetic, you build a brand, right? So when she walks into the office, she looks cool. You know what I mean? That's all labels want.
And that was insane to see. I cannot believe that he admitted that online for people to see. And honestly,
Man,
her music
crazy.
as Baby Goth wasn't even that bad. Like, I'm not gonna go listen to it personally, but that brings me to another point that I want to make in this video. At the end of the day, in my opinion, if the music's good, that's all that matters. Anyways, she released an EP and continued releasing music throughout 2020, including a song with Slim Jimmy.
Trash.
But as she kept releasing, her numbers continued going down. The fact that she was an industry plant and her music seems so inauthentic is most likely
It's
the
trash.
reason why her
Who
career
was the
didn't
market
work
for
out.
it?
She's been teasing new music to this day, but has not released anything since 2020. Our next industry plant is
This like vulture music. Like, you wonder who the market is for this music. Ain't no kids in the hood finna sit around listening to Baby Goth. This is music for white kids that want to partake in black culture, but without all the blackness and the reality of what make the culture what it is. Like, hey, bump some Baby Goth. She's trapping and she's waving her gun. Like, get the fuck out of here. Let's go.
Sorry guys, 1 second. Hey, what's up, man?
Hey man, I'm watching your new video and I love your shirt.
How are you seeing the video? I'm filming it right now. It's not even out.
Don't worry.
Me wearing
it's
in my
fucking
video.
true.
It's actually a shirt.
Wow, that
You got an industry plant shirt with a plant on it. Ha ha.
This is a rapper whose name may sound familiar because he was else on this list, and his name is Smiles. So Smiles is a rapper whose name may sound familiar because he was featured on 6ix9ine's album Tattletales
Not
on the
Smiles
song
from
Charlie.
Smiles
He
and
released
South
his first
Star?
song as Smiles a day before that 6ix9ine song came out and has been releasing music consistently.
Look at
ever
this nigga
since.
right
He hasn't
here.
seen much success and has only had one song since then crack 1 million plays, and that was a song featuring Snoop Dogg called Happy. So how did an extremely
Oh
small
my
rapper
God.
get featured on 6ix9ine's album and get a feature from Snoop Dogg? He's got to be an industry plant, right? Well, I can't say whether or not he's a traditional industry plant because he's had a career spanning over a decade before becoming Smiles, but I do consider him an industry plant of some sort, and you'll understand why after I explain it. So I think we should start with Smiles' dad. His dad is a man by the name of Bruno Mascalo, who is a multi-millionaire with an estimated net worth of $575.
How you out here faking like you some type of trap rapper when your dad is a millionaire worth over $500 million? You know what I'm saying? Worth over $500 million, and you out here faking like you some type of trap rapper and shit. This shit is just, it let you know, man, it's a mind virus. Imitating black life and black culture is a mind virus. Let's go.
$5 million. Now, the reason I think this guy's his dad is for 3 reasons. 1, he follows Smiles and a Smiles fan page on Instagram. 2, they both have the same name. 3, he mentioned in an interview he has a son in a rock band in LA. And you may be wondering, isn't Smiles a rapper? Why'd you say that he's in a rock band? Well, that article is from 2011, when Smiles was in a rock band by the name of
and then
Drive A.
crossed
He was the
over
lead
just to
vocalist and guitarist. And
vulture
I'm not gonna
off
lie,
rap.
their music
The
was pretty
fuck?
solid. The band was formed in 2007 and put out music until 2011.
niggas
They
be
released 2
bored with
full-length
rock
albums
music
and they
and
were
just
actually pretty
do
successful.
rap just
Drive A
to-
has a music video with over 160,000 views, and there's a ton of people in the
Just to be
comments saying
fake
that they
black
actually
shit.
missed the band or that they saw them live on tour with other bands. However, I can hardly find any information about this group, and after breaking up in 2011, Smiles joined another band called Raw Fabrics under the name Jack Franco. They started the band in 2011, and by 2014 the band had just finished a nationwide tour that they headlined and then released their debut EP Gold Handcuffs. In
So this fool trying to act like he a up and coming rapper when he was already in a rock band that was doing nationwide tours, man. All I got to say about that is
2015, after releasing their second EP, it seems like the band split, leaving just Jack Franco, who is now going by Jack Bruno. He was also struggling with drugs, which may have had a hand in that. Jack Bruno was active as Raw Fabrics until 2016, when he decided to go solo as Jack Bruno, but instead of making rock music, he made rap music. I believe he started releasing rap music in 2017, and that's when his career got extra weird. He had songs featuring famous Jacks who was super hot at the time, and he also
And look who he went. Look who he went and got, another weirdo rapper with some colorful dreads, famous dicks. Let's go.
had a song with Playboy Carti. For
And
some
Playboy
reason, some of his
Carti,
music
like-
was released as 92 Jack, so it seems
They
like he's
always
been
go
having
get
identity
these.
issues throughout his career. Regardless, he was somehow very involved in the industry
Flexible
and had
ass
tons of
rappers.
connections. He's open for artists like Wiz Khalifa, Juice WRLD, Lil Pump,
Look at all the
Lil
artists he
Skies,
open for.
6ix9ine, and Ray Shremmerd. It's
With
left
his
a lot of people
billionaire
wondering
daddy
how
and
he was
shit.
able to get
With
these
his
connections, and I've
multi-millionaire
seen some
dad.
people speculating that he paid for them. And that would make
Exactly.
sense since no one really knew who he was, and he was even booed off stage at some points. I feel bad for how hard he was clowned on, but the music was kind of cringy, like this live Dunkin' Donuts performance he did.
Trying to eat a diet, then you eat a donut.
Look how they be dressing and rapping. Like, dog he got on like a nondescript, weak ass sweater and shit, and like some tights and shit. Regular ass, like white boy haircut, dyed 2 different colors. Like they just try to pass the minimum smell test just to throw a hip hop beat on and rap, get some money, and get the fuck up out of there and shit. And what's sad about it is if you got some old colorful hair rappers around that nigga, around dude, they'll stand all around him and shit, flashing their teeth and showing their guns to support him. You know what I'm saying? And he wouldn't do shit for their ass. With his $500 million having ass daddy, he wouldn't get them niggas a dime. You know what I'm saying?
Donut. When you're trying to stay sane, then you up and go nuts.
Anyways, he released a lot of music as Jack Bruno, although most of it's been deleted from streaming services. But then in 2020, Jack Bruno again rebranded to Smiles, who's
So look, I'm gonna show y'all this and shit. F Smiles. We know you came out as Smiles and you know what I'm saying, you did all that. But check this out right here. Y'all ain't gonna believe this.
Drill rap is all about dissing dead ops, rapping about murder, and proving that you really about that life. Bronx drill is one of the most violent rap scenes in the world. So how is a rich white kid taking it over right now? This is the wild story of how Lil Mabu went from living in mansions to sending disses at legit gang members. Let's get right into it. Back in 2019, Lil Mabu hopped in the game at around 14
Look,
years old.
This
started
shit
dropping
crazy.
melodic
This
rap
where
songs.
this where
His
rap
early
came
music
to.
sounded
This
like
where
the
it's
Post
gonna
Malone
be. This is
never hit
gonna be
puberty,
running it.
and Mabu wasn't picking up any momentum in the industry with it. Anyone can grab a beat off of YouTube and record a track on their phone these days.
This a
Something was
drill
sketchy
rapper
about
right
Mabu
here.
from the jump. He was an independent artist that nobody knew, but even his first songs sounded like they were produced and recorded by industry vets. It was clear that Mabu had some money behind him, but that didn't mean anyone was paying attention. His pop rap tracks weren't taking off at all. So in 2021, he decided to
Slavery,
hop
bro.
on the
This
drill wave
slavery
instead.
right here.
First time he rapped over a drill beat was on the track Move It, where he laid down some basic bars like, I got these bands on me, I got a friend on me, she used to leave me on scene. I ran these racks with my dudes, on the phone making some moves. You hit me out of the blue? Yeah, you used to clown me at school. Mabu wasn't rapping about catching bodies yet, but it was still a crazy switch up from his first track. And when he followed it up with the track Demon Time, it was clear that Mabu was going all in with drill. Demon Time is a way more aggressive track. Mabu went from rapping about getting clowned at school to laying down lines like, do what I say so, you gonna fold like a table. Demon Time, Angel, my brothers, they toting the fuego. They try to pull up on me, when I see my people, I know they gonna leave. And don't cross me, I'm not Jesus. Run up a check, fingers they blue, you know the vibes, I stay with the crew. The video for the track popped off,
Whack.
almost hit 1 million views. Mabu was making some noise in the drill scene, but it was always pretty clear he wasn't really about
What I tell y'all, it's only gonna be shit like this, like drill and shit like that, that's gonna have industry plants that where a white boy could come along and shit clearly from like the suburbs and just come to the hood, flash his guns, do all that shit, and them niggas stand around like some props. If it was some music where some niggas was really talking about something, or it was some like I said, any other form of rap, conscious rap, anything, they ain't finna let nobody come around on that shit. They gonna flush him out, you know what I'm saying? But here, it's like, man, I told you, this the plantation. That's why they say industry plantation runners and shit, because they come right around, stand on them niggas' shoulders and shit. They wouldn't even be talking about none of this shit if them niggas who losing their life behind this and behind these beefs and all this drill music ain't make it popular and ain't draw the attention to it. Then they come along and shit, man, do some hassle-free suburban drill and go back home and shit. Lil Mabu.
that life. Just like how his early tracks sounded like they were professionally produced, the video for Demon Time obviously had a decent budget. Most drill rappers just shoot their videos out on the street or in the projects, but Mabu had expensive studio sets and a lot of production for his very first music video. He followed Demon Time up with the track King of the World.
He ain't struggling to do none of that shit. He just pushing.
He said,
he's pushing
put a blue
the
face
agenda.
on a plain Jane, but I ain't no crip. Peep the fit. You want the smoke? Then pull up on the fifth. Tinting the windows, they blacked out. Said I was broke, so I'm whipping the racks out. Little boy tried to fight, but he tapped out. Hang with the drillers, that's spinning it back round. Lil Mabu's racking up hundreds of thousands.
Like, look, hold on. You see you talking all that shit, right? And they even had him, the kid, hold on, let me see. They exposed where he was really from, his real name, all that shit. Dude is from, like, the suburbs of, like, New York. And then, like, his family owned a mansion. He'd stay in a mansion. His family owned another mansion in the Hamptons and shit. But they doing all these songs with him, all these drill rappers. All the drill rappers that he did the songs with, they all in jail.
He sent a shot at Shaw on the track Talk Facts and said, Jiggy Man dumbass got hit. That's word on my mother, they never do shit. But Shaw actually dissed D-Thing's dead friend Delilah first. On the track D&D, he said, there's a whole lot of ops I can smoke, but I'd rather just smoke on Delilah. Delilah Vasquez was a friend of D-Thing who was tragically shot in the head in 2021. And Shaw sent a savage diss at D-Thing over her death.
Like, and then you can come along, there's people dying behind these diss songs and all that, and then like you could just come along. That's how what's the word? That's how meritless the shit is. Anybody can do it. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like, oh, we doing this shit, oh, we the realest niggas out here, man. Please, somebody could come around and they talking that shit and they ain't did nothing. Y'all ain't seen them from a can of paint. Come around, use you niggas like props. A nigga from the suburbs, and y'all gonna stand around and shit. You know what I'm saying? And go along with it. And it's so crazy because, man, like I said, industry plants, like they put their money behind that shit. But I'm gonna tell you what's crazy while we on rappers. This rapper right here, he got a crazy story. The video is kind of long, so I'm gonna try and like skim through it a little bit. But you know, they was saying dude was a spy. I don't know if y'all remember Dog
after
from,
he released his first solo album,
and
which
shit.
was in 1998. So we're around 2006. So he released a documentary film where he went undercover for 9 days on Skid Row. He was sleeping in tents, stuff like that. After that, he wanted to get out of LA, so he moved to New York City, and he got a call from a big nightlife promoter who wanted to ask a favor for him. The nightlife promoter wanted Pras to entertain a new whale at PM, which is a club in the meatpacking district. A whale, for those who are unfamiliar, it's a term for somebody that's got an insanely large amount of money and is willing to spend it. So the whale for that night was a 24-year-old person from Malaysia, young male, who didn't know any celebrities.
It's
but
a crazy
he had a ton
story,
of money. Pras reluctantly agreed. He didn't like clubs at all, but he went. At the club, a bunch of Wall Street bros were yelling on the mic saying, we're the richest people in this club. And
now this the type of shit that niggas who broke get into trying to make some money, end up inadvertently getting into some rich people shit because they trying to get some money. Meanwhile, rich motherfuckers come around to broke niggas, party, do they dance, get the fuck up out of there after them niggas done spent all their money and their livelihood, you know what I'm saying, entertaining the rich dude, you know what I'm saying? Shit crazy, man. Rich get richer, po get fucked over. Let's go. I'm trying to get rich, but I ain't trying to fuck nobody over. Let's go.
bought drinks for everyone to celebrate. But the 24-year-old, whose name is Joe Lowe, didn't appreciate that. So he handed the MC $20,000 in cash to get the mic, and he took over the stage saying, there's rumors that someone is running around here talking about how they're the richest people in this club. So I'll tell you what, I want to buy everyone in this club a bottle, which was probably around like $3,000 each. The bankers then added another round trying to match him, which led to Lowe spending another $20K to get the mic, and he wasn't with the back and forth. So what he did was said he was going to buy every single bottle with liquid in it in the entire club and demanded someone head across the street to the other club and buy a bottle for everyone partying in that club as well. And Pras, just witnessing this, estimated that Jolo, at 24 years old, had just spent at least $1 million, if not $1.5 million in one night. Pras
Golly.
would be reached out to again to perform in Malaysia for Joe Low, which he refused to do.
That's
He said he
disgusting.
never took money from Low for any performances regarding music. However, Pras' interests were slowly shifting. He was interested in Barack Obama, who he had met once when Obama was still an Illinois senator. He was invited to a rally in downtown LA in 2007, and he wanted to donate, but the amount was $40,000 per person. He couldn't afford that, so he told Obama, hey man, I'll catch you at the next one. But Obama told him to just come anyway. At this point, he was full on in on Obama's election. He wanted Obama to win the presidency. He was telling everyone about it, and word eventually got back to Low, who reached out again
It's like a
in
spy
2012.
thriller and shit.
By now, Joe Low was at the top of the world with celebrities through different means. So a little bit of background
Everybody
on
knew
Joe Low.
Low.
He's from Malaysia. His grandfather is Chinese, from China, and they were very rich. However, Joe Low is accused of embezzling over $5 billion from a Malaysian sovereign wealth fund and
Big
bribing
crook.
government officials in that country to keep quiet. Some of them, like for example Najib Razak, who was the former prime minister of Malaysia, was sentenced for this crime, the money laundering scheme. That's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
a little bit of background
got caught
information.
for that
So
shit.
He bribed government officials to keep quiet about it, and then he found some Goldman Sachs bankers who would help or turn a blind eye to his movement of said money as long as they got a piece. Just to give you guys some perspective, Joe Low was boys with Leonardo DiCaprio and Martin Scorsese.
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio was testifying during this case. If you guys probably saw the
funded-
headline,
Joe Low funded
Leonardo
the Wolf on
DiCaprio
Wall Street.
testifies at court for a rapper. That was this case. He was dating a
Right.
Victoria's Secret model, Miranda Kerr. This is Joe Low, who is currently married to the CEO of Snapchat. And he funded the movie Wolf of Wall Street with the initial funding
Look
of
how deep
$100
this shit
million.
go, yeah.
At one point, he even acquired a $100 million stake in Sony Music Publishing.
Crazy.
But in order to keep his embezzlement going, he needed some
Crazy.
people inside the U.S. government. So in the same way that he threw money around in Malaysia and then Hollywood, he was probably like, hey, this is just how it is. He thought he could do the same in the U.S. So it's 2012, and Pras was invited by Frank White Jr., a higher-up of Obama's re-election campaign, to an event in Miami, where for another $40,000, people could pretty much be around each other and the president. When Low found out about this, he made plans to accompany Pras, wiring him $1 million. Pras invited his contacts and covered their donations with that money. So there was some illegal stuff going on here. A foreign national, Malaysian, Joe Low, sending political contributions to the U.S., that money being distributed among friends to donate under their own name, which is something called straw donors, and later misleading the campaign about where that money had come from. This was, according to the Justice Department, a conspiracy to circumvent federal
You
law
right, Ricky.
against
Ain't no
foreign
clean
influence
money
to
out
buy
here.
access to Obama.
I
But
agree.
another interpretation, according to the defense that Pras put up, is that Joe Low and Pras, both
you
not
always
knowing
follow the
rules
money
of
and
the
you'll
Federal
find the
Election
truth.
Committee, were just using each other to achieve their own goals. Pras wanted Obama to win the election. This guy had money. Joe Low, from his own experience in Malaysia and some of the Middle East, found that politicians had a price, and he believed the same in the U.S. Low still hadn't met Obama, and part of the reason is the campaign didn't really like him because Joe Low had this party reputation with all these celebrities.
Nah,
and
they
stuff
wasn't
like that. They're
fucking
like,
with
"Well,
him.
this probably isn't
But
great
when
for the
Trump got
brand."
in office,
But
he was all about some
2012,
Joe Low.
and they were saying that Frank White Jr. guided Low through the White House and got his picture taken with the president and the first lady, with motions stating that White, quote unquote, facilitated a $20 million payment for this photograph. So Pras was pretty much bored
Damn.
with Low now, hanging out at all the big parties,
20 million
events,
for a
and places
picture?
that Low was at. Things were great until
Hey, look, Barack, Michelle. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna have to talk in my Barack voice for this one. Nigga not turning down $20,000 for a photograph. I don't give a fuck what the CIA says about Joe Low. Okay? I'm not turning down 20 million for a photograph, Michelle. Looking at, but nah. Damn, 20 million. This man was spending money like crazy, bro. And then it's so funny how people end up getting caught up in that shit. Let's go.
2016. The Attorney General of the U.S. seized about $1 billion in assets from the sovereign wealth fund that Low had used. Real
Damn.
estate, his private jet, a Van Gogh and Monet painting, his $100 million share in Sony Music, The proceeds from Wolf of Wall Street. Leonardo DiCaprio and Miranda Kerr both surrendered over millions of dollars in gifts. One of those gifts being a very rare, I think a $9 million Basquiat.
Oh my God, this man was flexing.
So Lowe was in trouble with Malaysia. He was facing charges there. And he was also now in trouble with the U.S. So he opted to link up with China, where he's been ever since. In 2017, with the Trump presidency going on, Pras was reached out to by Lowe for some help. He wanted somebody close to Trump who could basically pull the Justice Department back from pursuing charges against Lowe, which is where the current charges that Pras was found guilty of come from. They said that they both organized a private group of citizens who, for millions of dollars from that fund, agreed to lobby the Trump administration on Lowe's behalf and then went into lobbying on China's behalf, which led to Pras charged with those crimes and witness tampering, violating FARA, which is the Foreign
Y'all see how they got
Registration
dude? Y'all
Act.
see how they pulled Pras into that shit? That's crazy. He got pulled into it. He wasn't even like, man, that's crazy, bro.
Which pretty much
They ain't go after none of the rich people. They ain't go after the president and them, or they ain't go after Joe Lowe and them motherfuckers.
means that someone has to publicly sign up and make it clear that they're representing foreign interests. And also, you got charged with acting as an agent of a foreign government. The issue with the FARA charge, or FARA Act, is that what if he doesn't know that he's operating under foreign interests? Maybe that wasn't his intention.
Right.
And that's where the case gets a little bit messy when you start to look at it and you kind of start to feel bad for Pras. But in 2017, this hadn't come to fruition. Pras reached out to a friend, Nikki Lum Davis, who was a big Republican donor, who then reached out to Elliot Broidy, who was vice chair of the Trump Victory Committee and deputy finance chair of the Republican National Committee. So in 2017, the group drew up a contract to secure Broidy's services to lobby the Department of Justice on Lowe's behalf. $8 million up front and $75 million if the problem was handled within 6 months. $50 million if it took a year. Another individual, George Higginbotham, who was then working for the Justice Department, allegedly set up 2 shell companies
Our
to receive
government for
payments
sale.
from Lowe, $25 million up front and $300 million when the job was done that would be distributed among everyone later. So now it's Broidy, Joe Lowe, and Pras meeting at the Shangri-La Hotel in Bangkok, Thailand. Broidy told him that he would make sure the Trump administration would end the investigation and the asset seizures.
That's where you
Lowe
fucked
was
up
willing
this
to hand
meeting
money
right
to
here,
anyone
Pras.
connected to Trump to handle this problem, from people like Chris Christie to Trump's personal lawyer, Mark Kasowitz. But this is where it becomes USA versus China. Right now, it's just Joe Lowe trying to get the government pretty much their foot off his back. So he
That
can
meeting
continue
fucked
living
you
the
up,
life that he was
Pras.
living in the
Goddamn.
US. So 2 weeks after the trip to Bangkok, Davis, Nikki, Broidy, and Pras flew to Hong Kong to meet Lowe again. When they arrived, they were taken to Shenzhen, China, where they were accompanied by a Chinese government official, Sun Lijun. Lijun would ask Broidy if he could convince the White House to extradite Chinese billionaire Guo Wengui. Please forgive my Chinese pronunciation.
Nah, see, now when they start asking you to do political shit like that, that's when you know shit getting dirty. But do y'all see that though, how a regular ass rapper, you know what I'm saying, it start out like, hey bro, just go up in the club and buy all the bottles from me, go get the mic for me, here go 20,000, go get the mic, say I'm the richest person in the room. Then it turned into, hey man, contact you for something else. I need you to take this $1 million and, you know what I'm saying, donate it at this party, or take it, let's get into this party or whatever. You keep whatever is left over. Sometimes, you know, they say don't look a gift horse in the mouth, and if shit it seemed like it's too good to be true, it probably is. This was definitely one of them situations. Dude was throwing around too much fucking money. And sometimes, man, we tend to be, as a people, we done been through so much, being poor and broken and not having access to shit. We tend to like blindly trust people with money as having our best interests in mind, negative. And you think they won't do nothing because they don't got no use for you. They got so much money. Why the fuck would they have in messing your life up or anything like that? But the truth about it is they could use you as a fall guy. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what they could be planning. You know what I mean? It's just too crazy, man. But yeah, I knew who Joe Lowe was, and to find out he was connected to this case, it was kind of just a tripped out thing. It was a surprise. Kind of like in this next clip where this chick got a surprise. She got the surprise of all Surprises.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Tisha Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
STD positive dude didn't tell her before smashing and got her infected. Y'all be careful. The story's kind of wild, man, and it just kept getting crazier the more I wanted to find out more about this situation. It says, y'all be careful. Now, that was the caption of this video of this chick that I'm going to play for you guys, of her crying, basically admitting that she was recently infected by some guy she was messing with. And here's what's interesting. I have to explain to you guys how the whole story went for me, because sometimes I'll do like
run it down to us.
Like quick research on some of these stories, because I'm like, I wonder who this person is. Is she known, or is she just a random person? Some of these people are just random people. While I'm reading these comments, and I usually don't read most of my comments, as of late I have been, I find out that this chick is an adult content creator, and then this happened to her, and I thought to myself, whoa, I guess there goes another reason why women should not look into doing like OnlyFans content. These women will have sex and stuff on camera and have the link for guys to go check them out, etc. There's many reasons not to be a 3 or 4 for women and men. STDs is definitely one of those reasons. And I'm looking, I'm like, okay, so she got infected, and the story seems to be she does OnlyFans content. She does adult content. So I go to her TikTok page, and it's the weirdest thing. And I'm immediately uncomfortable, because I realize that she sort of does this thing where she'll post sexual content and also is like this pro
like
exposing yourself, feeding your children.
Like pro breastfeeding in public.
I can't say the actual word of
but
the
mix that in with her adult content.
But the body part exposed on your chest, feeding your children out in public. So she's like pro women should be exposed feeding children out in public. So she has all these videos. So if you go on her TikTok, it's like video of her feeding her children, like the whole thing exposed. Like
whole titty out is what you want to say. Whole titty out. I say it for you, bro. Whole titty out.
Her child there sucking on it. And then next is like a really sexual video like this.
She kind of cute.
So listen, I'm immediately
she got that package though.
Why?
Because I remember
it's like
that.
This. You're using the awareness of women being exposed, feeding children, and then you have thirst traps,
right,
like, and trying to show off your body. Guys, this is, it gets worse. Here's another one, right? This is right next to like a video of her kid, and she's there like a kid playing with toys. And then next is this video.
What's pink, wet, and begging to be slurped? If you did not say strawberry milkshake, you have failed the dirty mind test, but you have passed the being my friend test.
Okay, so she's like, dirty minds, those are my friends, right? And I just think it's just off. It was just very off. And I felt uncomfortable. I'm like, why are there children?
It just get to that point. You know what? It's a clout Alfredo. You know what I'm saying? It's a clout Alfredo. It's a little bit of everything in it. Throw a little sex in, a little kids in, a little bit of something to do with kids, a little body positivity, and just mix that shit all up. How these hoes, all they know how to make is Alfredo. It's just clout Alfredo, bro. Let's go.
OnlyFans, very sexual content. I was like, nah. I wasn't going to show any of this stuff. It's a mix of everything, a mashup. My platform, because YouTube does not. Well, I'm not comfortable with that. You guys see I blur the kids' faces whenever I report on a topic like that. But if you guys don't believe me, here's a picture, and this is just of her, like basically feeding. It's not going to show her kid or anything. Basically feeding her kid out at some grocery store. So then comes this video from her with the caption, "STD positive dude didn't tell her before smashing and got her infected. Y'all be careful." Let's check it out. Let's see what she has to say.
Say that if you are sexually active and you know that you have an STD,
it's something weird about people crying on live to me. Like, how you holding the camera?
When you don't, and you infect that person, you are, and they are making a decision that they do not know.
She got the package, y'all.
Like, this shit is going to change the rest of my life.
Hold on. Do I see some titties tattooed on her neck? Do she got a pair of titties tattooed on her neck? Ah, hell no. Ah, yeah. She wasn't gonna stop until she caught a disease. Let's go.
And there's nothing I can do. And I'm embarrassed. And I'm humiliated and I feel so stupid. I feel so stupid for letting someone take advantage of me in a moment
Wow,
of weakness.
they took advantage of you? Or did you bust that
But I
thing
did not
wide open?
consent to this. And I'm going to get justice for myself.
Justice ain't gonna take the
Because there have
package
been
back.
so many times in my life where I haven't. And this is not fair. And I refuse to let anybody else feel like this if I can help it.
There you guys go. That's the video right there. And
So, I want to say something about that real fast, y'all. Let me say something about that. Because somebody, when I was going through the clips today, and one of my friends, matter of fact, it was Kia. Shout out to Kia, Day-to-Day K. She was like, why would she go to social media with it? And I said, because it's the clout thing. Everything she was doing when she exposing herself, breastfeeding, you just feeding your damn kid. Like any mother feed their kid, but you figured it was a way to make clout. Them videos you was making where you was like showing off, ways for you to sexualize yourself and make clout. So now when you caught the package, you not finna keep your mouth shut now. Part of your mind. Told you. You thought about it like, nah, this sad, this real. I shouldn't expose this, but then you thought, you know what? Live by the clout, die by the clout. And you posted, if you miss who somebody who got the package. Like, nah, ho, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? Keep your Virginia in the package, and you ain't gotta in the wrapper, and you ain't got to worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Make sure, like I went today, I got a checkup, and it's so funny because I went and got a checkup, just an annual checkup, and when I told people I was at a doctor's appointment, they like, man, what's wrong or what happened? Niggas don't only go get checkups when they sick. Some people do that shit to not get sick. It's called preventative care. You know what I'm saying? Not aftercare. You know what I mean? And more of that. Less of this. If you have sex with somebody, like, nah, ho, you gonna have to be responsible out here. We all gotta be. Let me see what the mods got to say. Rick say she wanted a D's naive between her when she got him. Yep, pretty much. I would make a comment about that, but yeah. So keep your coochie to yourself, whore. Eric fought for not wearing protection, just smashing anything. Yeah, nah, she was with the shit at first, I guarantee you, until it went bad and she got that prognosis. You know what I'm saying? She was with it, and it was just the way she was trying to do it. I guarantee you it was somebody, you know, she was trying to get some clout from or just whatever, however. You know, it wasn't just the average Joe who out here getting checkups and not just fucking everything. Cause a lot of these celebrities be the ones fucked up and burning and shit. But it's crazy, man. We got industry plants and burnt up Instagram models, man. Wherever you go, watch your feet. Watch your feet. Don't step in it. But nah, it's crazy, man. That's all I got for y'all today, man. We gonna make sure we not support no industry plants, so we gonna make sure we get our checkups and have safe sex. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the mod, shout out to Cuzzo, shout out to Ricky Williams in the building, shout out to Annette. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the winning team. You know, new boxing drops coming up soon, so check them out. And you know, we is back tomorrow for the last show of the week. I started this new job. I be doing on the road trucking now. So if I don't do a live stream, it's because I had to hit the road that day and drop a load off of something. So I will keep y'all posted. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, keep supporting the channel, man. I love y'all. Again, shout out to everybody, and we working, man. So until tomorrow, later, y'all. I'm gone.